Well, it's about that time again, where about every 2 years I decide to record a Minecraft video of me randomly talking and yapping about what's been going on recently in my life, and, you know, saying that I'm gonna make a series out of it, and then I never do, and then it goes nowhere. So, hi, welcome back. I'm uploading again for the first time in God knows how long. So, where to start? First of all, I'm going to start using this world instead of as a consistent series, as more of a brain dump. I might actually record B-roll footage for future videos on this world if I ever decide to actually commit to making content in any way, shape, or form. So, what's new in the life of Clover? What have I been doing recently since my last upload? Uh, like my last actual upload, like 2 years ago? That wasn't a shit post about me being on Twitter. Um, what's new in my life? Well, employment almost happened. It was a sorta thing. I don't really want to touch too much on it. That's my personal life, and you don't need to know about it. Point is, I'm doing the best I can after graduating from high school. Jesus, I'm almost 20 recording this, 19 at the time of talking. But I don't know. Sometimes everybody just needs a brain dump or a diary, and for me, this is what serves best. A video diary, where I talk and you watch Minecraft footage, and everybody's happy. It's been a long time. Younger me probably wouldn't be happy about the fact that I never actually adhered to an upload schedule, but, well, then, she's not around to know that, is she? What about old me? How does old me feel about not having an upload schedule? Well, I don't really have the words to describe it because it's not something I really actively think about being on YouTube. I've only wanted to pick up the idea again recently because, well, I was looking back at some of my old videos and thought to myself, what would it be like, you know, if I really decided to make a full commit to the idea? And even if I'm not making a full commit to the idea, isn't it nice to just upload a video every now and then of just you talking to nothing, talking to nobody about something, about life, feelings, current world events? I mean, it's 2026. We're, what, started 2026? 2025 was not the greatest year on this planet. I'll say that with 100%. That is, I believe that to be the truth. 2025 was a rough one for a lot of people, myself included. I'm not so sure about you, the hypothetical viewer that may or may not be watching. You know, it's funny to me. Even all this time later, my most viewed video on this channel is of me playing a random mod for Friday Night Funkin' I found off of Game Banana of Roar of the Jungle Dragon from Terraria Calamity. I love Terraria Calamity. That's really an offhanded thing for me to mention, but I've always liked it. I've always liked the lore behind it, like the overall gameplay. I like that it encompasses and attempts to get you to play the seasonal moon events in order to make worthwhile progression within it. I feel like everybody kind of overlooks the pumpkin and frost moon. when they're not playing Calamity, because they're just really they are nothing burgers of events. You kind of do them for the novelty, but then you play Terraria Calamity and you're like, what nightmare fuel? What is that? And then you learn like where you get it, and you're like, what the fuck? Really? That's where I'm getting that? And like, yeah, that's where you're getting that from. Buckle up, buddy. You have to do the moon events. And also, like, the solar eclipse and the blood moon. But, you're gonna run into either of those two at least once while playing on a Terraria world. Or you don't run into either of them, ever, like at all, if you're unlucky like me, when I was doing my playthrough just recently. Seriously, I don't know what was up with that. I was doing it to a Terraria Calamity playthrough recently. I decided to commit to one, and over like the entirety of the time that I was playing on that world, I did not get a single natural solar eclipse or blood moon. Not until I went AFK at like late game. Only when I went AFK in late game did both of those events ever happen. I wasn't even at my keyboard for them. I was completely like somewhere else. Yeah, I don't know. Life is tough, man. They don't they don't really tell you how hard it is to kind of exist as a human being after graduating high school. It's either you go directly into the working force or you go directly to college, and for someone like me who really wouldn't make it if, she tried to go to college, it's just kind of difficult to be someone. I struggle a lot recently with feeling like I'm a worthwhile human being, and I have no one to thank but my friend group for really keeping me on my feet. Feels like they'll always be there for me, and I can't thank any of them enough. So, hi guys. If if you've stumbled on my YouTube channel and you're watching this video for some reason, hey, yeah, you. I'm talking about you. I appreciate you for being in my life and pulling me up to my feet when I fall. And I want you to know that, even if I don't really say it, I'll be there to pull you up too. I think that's something very important that a lot of people need to understand. Um, with the amount of hatred in this world that we live in today, you have to be the change. You have to make some sort of difference. Because if no one's going to be positive, you need to be positive. You can't just start waiting on other people to be positive. You can't just start waiting on other people to be kind. You need to make that first step. Because no one on this earth is going to be kind to you until you are kind to them first. I've met way too many people throughout my life who have used me for my kindness. And I know, hearing something like that, you're thinking, well, why would I be kind to anyone then? There's always the chance they could just exploit it. And at the end of the day, all I can really say about that is it's a shot in the dark. your kindness, spreading it around, it's a shot in the dark. It's always going to be a shot in the dark. No one's, you know, you never know what's gonna happen until you fully commit to the idea. And I've been throwing that term around a lot this video already. In the what, almost 10 minutes it's already been, maybe? Full committing. Fully committing yourself to something. Fully saying that you're going to do something and following through without hesitation. It's difficult. It's a hard thing to do. I understand that more than anything else. I've, I mean, I've got severe diagnosed ADHD, and with that comes strenuous amounts of executive dysfunction. So I find it hard to commit to just about anything, and I also get paralysis about, well, starting. That's one of the worst feelings in the world, let me tell you. Paralysis about starting. It's horrible. Feeling like you're stuck in the mud trying to start something. Thinking, if I start, am I even going to finish it? So you get scared to even make the first step at all. I've been feeling like that the past few months. I won't lie. It feels hard to lift my feet from the ground and take the first step on just about anything, but I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point, or at least close to it, where I can maybe confidently say I'm able to do that. And you know what? If I can pull my feet up from the ground and say that I can start something and I can stick to it and I can keep chipping away at it over and over and over again, maybe, just maybe, you can too. So, I don't know. Let that serve as food for thought for you. If you're feeling anxious about starting something, do it. I I would almost go so far as to say that there's no feeling worse than wanting to do something and stopping yourself from doing it because you think that you can't. Wanting to do something and stopping yourself from doing it because what? It doesn't feel worth it. You don't think you'd be good at it. You don't think you could stick to doing it. That's just life. I feel like if I had to say anything, that's life. You're gonna get kicked. You're gonna get pushed. You're gonna get beaten down. Everything's gonna suck. Everything is gonna suck for a long time. All the time. Maybe, even. But you can't just be a coward. You can't just resign yourself to the madness. That kills the mind. You can't just do that to yourself. You can't just let yourself be held down by strings that you set upon yourself, thinking, I can't do this because I can't stick to things. And I'm realizing right now how much of a hypocrite I might sound. But you know what? the longer I talk about this, the more I'm believing my own words. You're coming on a journey with me right now. This is entirely unscripted, all of this. Did you know that? All of my videos on this channel currently are unscripted. Although I've been thinking about a scripted video recently. That's besides the point. You should commit to the things that you think will make you happiest. Because if you don't, are you living? I know that's a really loaded question to ask, but are you living if you aren't doing what makes you the most happy? Are you living if you're holding yourself back from doing what'll please you? I've always had it kind of in my head that I'm nobody. I'm going nowhere. I'm going to be nobody. I'm not gonna go somewhere, and I'm sure as hell not gonna do something. But I think the more that I really think about it, I can be somewhere. And I can go somewhere, and I can do something. All I have to do is try. And that's just what I want to say to you. If you feel like you can't be somewhere, or if you feel like you're nobody going nowhere, and you're never gonna do anything or amount to anything, I would just say, you know, that's natural. You're gonna feel that way, but you shouldn't let that stop you. If you believe hard enough that you can be someone, you can make it happen. I don't know. Maybe hitting the record button today really made me feel hopeful. I think for once in a really, really good while, I feel hopeful about life, about myself, about the things around me, about everything. I think hope is a good thing to have. Because when everything seems dismal and bleak, when your country is being ruled by a dictator, you know, when everything's going to shit, what do you have but hope? And I get it. Hope doesn't get you through everything. Hope doesn't solve for a lack of money. Hope doesn't, you know, hope doesn't cure a family member, but hope can make it not feel so terrible. And, well, some people just struggle to not feel so terrible. So, to those people, hope a little. Turn your eyes forward and hold it close to your heart. The concept of hope. I believe that if you don't solve your own problems, they're never gonna get fixed. Even if you cause them yourself, even if somebody else caused them for you, None of your problems are ever going to get solved if you don't make that first step towards solving them. You need to be the person that fixes your problems. You need to be the person who puts your foot down and takes that first step forward in your life. Nothing comes free in this world. There's no handouts. It's not real. You know, unless you were born into a wealthy family, first of all, that's cheating. You're cheating at life. Second of all, the things in this life that feel the best are the things that you work for, the things that you dedicate yourself to, the things that you strive for. It's not just about surviving, it's about living. And I get it, sometimes it's hard. People are always going to be in a place somewhere where maybe survival is more important than living. And I understand that. But I believe that in life, if you're not enjoying yourself at least a little, you're wasting your time. You need to enjoy yourself. You can't make things better if you don't at least feel a little joy. It doesn't work like that. Who am I to say any of this, though? I'm not a philosopher. You know, I didn't come from ancient Greece or anything. I'm just some kid on the internet. Maybe I've seen some, rotten things of this world. But I'm certainly not qualified to really talk about any of this. Again, just a kid. Just some 19 going 20. Talking to a camera about nothing. And you know what? I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with being that way to you. Because I'm okay with being like that to me. By all means, life should be enjoyed. That's what I think. Even if it looks dim, even if it looks bleak. You should find something good and hold on to it. Keep it close to you. Holy shit. Diamonds. Sorry. That's a... get way sidetracked there. Um, where was I? Something, 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 hope. Hope core, hope posting. Uh, you ever see that image recently that's been floating around of Gordon Freeman getting injected with a huge syringe that's full of a yellow liquid that says hope on it? Yeah. Yeah, be that. Do that. Be Gordon Freeman hope syringe image. And Gordon Freeman hope syringe image other people too. Bring hope to other people as well. Life is gonna kick you down, but you need to stand up. We all do. And it needs to be a collective effort. It needs to happen together. You know, united we stand, divided we fall. Humans are and this might be somewhat of a controversial take. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that humans are nothing without compassion and companionship with one another. We are social creatures. It's just kind of the way that we are. So, talk about how much you hate other people all you want, but the truth is, nobody hates everybody. There's always going to be that one person, I feel like. Everyone has a special someone. Maybe it's somebody that you're currently making goo goo eyes for, you know, chasing in a loop trying to gain their affection, or maybe it's somebody you already have and you feel content with. Maybe it's not love that you're looking for. Maybe it's just togetherness. Maybe you found your family in a place that wasn't your blood. Point is, though, human togetherness is incredibly important. Man, I thought I would be talking more about my own life in this video, but this is just me, like, being hopeful for no specific reason. Yeah, make that the title. Video diary number 1. Hope. That made me jump. You know, all of this has me thinking something vaguely reminiscent to the recent chapters of Deltarune. You know, Susie is referred to as the girl with hope crossed on her heart. Or, well, some people think that. Some people interpret that prophecy panel as Noelle, and some people interpret Susie as, you know, finally was the girl, at last was the girl. And there's a lot of good cases on either side about all of that, but it's important to know that, you know, regardless of anything else, Susie is a character so very entwined with hope. I mean, literally, that's kind of the whole point of, like, the Hammer of Justice fight, ain't it? That's kind of the whole point of her breaking the prophecy, ain't it? Not only that, but it's, well, isn't it the whole point of her entire character arc? Susie's entire character, her entire motive, is finding hope where it looks most bleak. Finding something to live for, something to hold on to, something to fight for when everything looks terrible. And you know what? I think that's perfect. I think that perfectly summarizes what I'm trying to talk about right here, right now. There is always something to live for. You will always have something to live for. You will always have something to fight for. Even when it looks the absolute most bleak, there's still a reason to push, to move forward, to live. And you are depriving yourself if you believe that there isn't. I don't even know where to go from here. I think I'll call it here. Stay cool, everyone. And, well, I wouldn't count on another upload, but also don't think you'll have to wait 2 more years for another one. I feel good about this. I think I'll keep going with this. I have the free time these days, and, well, all things considered, I really have nothing better to do than this, so why not, right? Been fun. I'll see you later.